Hey guys, it has been a while since I've shot a new YouTube video, and I'm doing an about me video because every couple of years it's fun to do one of these. I get a lot of questions that come through, especially on Instagram, and so I compiled your guys' questions into a kind of long question list, and I'm just going to be answering your questions. So hopefully you will enjoy this video and have fun. Okay, so what is your height and weight? You guys get personal very fast. So in the US, we use feet and inches. And so I am 5 feet 6 inches, or we say I'm 5'6". And then my weight, to be honest, the last time I weighed myself was before we started traveling over a year ago. And my weight was 119 pounds. So we use pounds. I don't know what I weigh now, but I'm guessing it's around there. Maybe 121. I don't know. So, how old are you? I'm 38 years old, and let's never talk about age again. No, actually, until I turned like 35, I was totally fine. And then after 35, age is like a weird thing. I think because I learn languages, and so I meet really young people, and I have some language partners that are like 20, and I'm like, I could be your mother. And then I feel really old, and it's weird. But anyways, moving on. Where do you live and where are you from? So I'm originally from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in the Midwestern part of the United States. I have not lived there in over 20 years. I have a house in South Carolina, but right now I'm living in northern Portugal, really close to the border of Spain, and I have been here for 4 months. How many languages do you speak? Great question. English is my native language. And then in this order, I learned Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, French, and now Turkish. So I feel like I have a pretty good level of the Latin languages and a maybe A2 Turkish level. Do you like sports? I don't really watch sports, but I like to be active, like running, yoga, lifting weights, things like that. Sometimes I shoot a basketball around, but I don't really play sports or watch sports. How often do you work out? Every single day. I feel better when I work out. I feel more positive. The adrenaline is like a real thing. So if I miss a daily workout, my day is not the same. Are you happy? Yes, I think I'm a happy person. Have you visited India? Yes, I spent 3 months in Delhi and Dharamsala, which is the northern part of India. What's your favorite food? Italian pizza from Italy. The best, hands down. I could eat it probably every couple of days. I miss it. My favorite topping is mushrooms. Why did you leave the US? So I've always traveled, probably like the last 20 years I've been traveling. And the US has been a place that we've always gone back to as a home base. But as far as living life there, we don't want to. So that's kind of why we left the US. We love life in Europe. Our goal is to become European citizens and have 2 passports to open up more opportunities for our children and for ourselves as well. Okay, so how are you able to stay in Portugal? So right now we're able to stay because we applied for residency. So all of our papers are submitted and now we're just waiting for an appointment. But we're allowed to stay here legally, and the process is up to 2 years of waiting before we get residency, and then our residency is valid for 2 years and then we can renew it. What are the main difficulties you face living in a new culture? So of course the language is a big one. Even here in Portugal, I speak Portuguese, but I speak more of a Brazilian Portuguese, the accent that I learned, the words that I learned. And so, of course, language. And then I think my kids not speaking the language is a challenge as well. And me struggling to know if I should put them in public school or not. So that's a big challenge that I face. And then here, just the government, the bureaucracy is different than in the US, and things are really slow, and we're used to things moving faster. But other than that, honestly, there's not a whole lot of challenges that we face. How do your children study when you're traveling? So we homeschool, which means that I am my kids' teacher, and we can kind of teach whatever we want as homeschoolers in the United States. We're just under a covering which protects us, and it's legal. And so we teach our kids math, science, history, reading, all sorts of things. And they're also learning Portuguese now, which is great. Do you intend to live in the US again someday? Answering this right now, I would say no, which is sort of shocking. I think we'll go back to visit, but I don't see us living there for a long season. Maybe in the far future, like because we don't know circumstances and things that could happen. But as of now, no. I see this as our home here in Portugal. What did you do for a living before you gave birth to your children? So I have done a lot of things in my life. You could watch my job video, previous jobs video, but some of the things I used to do were personal training. So I worked in a gym, life coaching. So I helped people solve their own problems and advance in their goals in life. I did mission work with an ONG for about 7 years. And then owning Airbnb properties, rental properties is another one. So a lot of things. Do you think of having a fourth child? No, I don't think of that. I had 3 children in 4.5 years. And then my body was like, yep, you are done. And I was like, I will die if I have another child. So I don't think of having a fourth. If you could choose any other country to have been born in, what would you choose? This was actually really hard. I'm very thankful to have been born in the United States. If I had to choose another country, I narrowed it down to European countries on the sea. So it would be great if it was one of the countries that I already speak the language of, which would mean Portugal, Spain, Italy, or France. What country do you want to live in next? I actually don't know, but I think at some point in our life, it would be really cool to live in both France and Italy because I speak those languages. We've lived in Spain for a couple of years. We're living in Portugal now. So we got to try out all of these 4 dreamy countries that we love so much. So moving on to the section about English, you guys asked me a lot of questions about English, languages, and things like that. So I'm going to transition into that section. So who takes your pictures and videos? My husband, Calvin. Once in a while, I shoot my own videos, like this. But for the most part, if you see me moving around, it's my husband, Calvin. He's the best. Actually, he's behind this camera right now, so just kidding. Okay, are you a teacher? I have a TEFL certification for teaching. I do not teach in the classroom. I don't give one-on-one lessons anymore. I consider myself a content creator that creates content to help people learn English. So in that aspect, yes, I am teaching. What inspired you to teach ESL? I think what inspired me the most was my passion for language learning. When I was learning Portuguese, I kept having my Portuguese Brazilian friends telling me, Camille, you should really start a YouTube channel. And that was something that inspired me. And I was like, you know what? I do like helping you guys learn English. I'm going to do it. What does the phrase, you got it, mean? So if you're like, it's like you're agreeing to do something for somebody. Hey, Camille, do you think that you can wash the dishes for me? You got it. I'll do it for you. Another meaning of you got it would be like you understand it. Like I'm teaching you something And then you're like, oh yeah, I get it. And then I'd be like, yep, you got it. You understood it. A third thing for you got it would be like you sent an email to somebody and you're like, did you get the email? Oh, good, you got it. Like it went to you. Wow, there's a lot of meanings for that one. No wonder you were confused. Okay, do Americans say err yesterday over tomorrow? Never heard that in my life, so I would say no. How do you learn languages? I've created a lot of videos about this. You can go back and look, but my strategy is always to start on some applications like Duolingo, Link, Memrise, then progress to YouTube, and just keep little by little trying to immerse myself with the language. Sometimes I take lessons, sometimes I don't. I always find natives to talk to and practice with, and that is one of my favorite ways to learn languages. Can you give me some tips to improve speaking? So one of my tips is listen. Listen to a lot, because by listening, it can help train yourself when you're speaking. Reading out loud is a great way to improve your speaking. If you have a hard time with certain sounds, having an accent coach help you and work with you even 1 or 2 times to correct maybe the position of your mouth could be really helpful. And then just practice speaking a lot by yourself, with a friend, leaving voice notes, just getting it out there. And the more you do it, I think the more fluent you'll become. I know it's hard, but practice, practice, practice. How do you feel when native people tell you that you have an accent? Because all the time American people say it. It's probably true. Americans are pretty blunt. But the truth is that everyone has an accent. I have an accent in English when I speak. An accent just means the way that we sound. And so if people tell me, you have an accent, I'm like, yes, I do, because French is my 5th language. Of course I have an accent. I am not a native speaker. So I think, yeah, it's normal. I've accepted it, and it doesn't really bother me because I know I have an accent. Okay, how can I make friends living abroad to talk in English? I think through language apps like Hello Talk and Tandem. Those are great ways that you can make friends abroad. Now with the internet, I feel like the potential is limitless. Like there are so many people out there. So good luck with that. And can you make a video speaking Spanish? I'm curious to know how you sound. I have a ton of TikTok videos in both Spanish and Portuguese because when I was traveling in South America, I recorded a bunch. I think I also have some on my channel, but you can check those out and hear how I sound. You guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you made it all the way here to the end, you're amazing. If you still have a question for me that I didn't answer, if you write it in the comments, I will do my best to message a response at least. Thank you guys again. I wish you a beautiful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.